All right, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Robert, and today I just got in the 2022 version of the Yeezy 700 V2 Static. And on my last video, y'all really been watching that, and I really appreciate all the likes, the comments, and everything. And there were a couple comments from, I guess, some people who watched the video who wanted to know were there any differences between the OG 2018 release as well as the 2022 release that we just, saw restock last week. So we're gonna go over those differences. Initially, I wasn't gonna go over the box because they pretty much are the same, but then I noticed there was just one little difference, not a huge deal. So let's start with the OG box. So this is the OG box. It's pretty much, your standard Yeezy box here, 700 on top, Boost on the side. And what I wanna talk about is the size tag. So here, it still says Yeezy Boost 700 V2, but this is the pair that I got from Yeezy Supply on the OG release. And notice how it has all the different sizes. I think this is usually a tag that they put on the pairs overseas. But for some reason, I guess the ones from Yeezy Supply had, at least the one I got, had this tag. But what I wanna call out is that there's no what is it, EPC inside, indication on it. Whereas on the 2022 box, you can look there, you had that little, says EPC inside. And I guess that's the little, tag on the shoe that you could scan if you wanted or whatever. So I just want to call that out. But as far as the color code and everything appears to be the same. And I also want to call out, on some of the newer releases we've been seeing, like on the Yeezy Basketball Knit, they're starting to put Yeezy as YZY, but you still have, Yeezy spelled out entirely on the restock of the OG, on the restock of the 700 V2 Static. So if you want to compare the labels and whatnot, just pause the video and go back and look at that. But aside from that, the boxes are pretty much the same. Okay, yeah, they're pretty much the same. These are different sizes, so I guess your UPC code might look a little different, but as far as the tag, the color code and all that, it's basically the same. Well, I'm looking now. Just go back and pause it and look. I'm just noticing now that the pair that I got from Yeezy Supply is made in China versus the one that I have from the restock is made in India. So if you really care about that, take a look. But again, pause the video, go back and look at it. Okay, so here we have it, y'all. One of my favorite Yeezys, period, of all time. This is the restock of the 700 V2 Static. Now, if you've already seen my last video that I did of the review of this shoe, I reviewed the OG model. Comment down below and let me know, do you see any differences at all? Go ahead and comment, I'll wait. Okay, I've waited. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, pretty much there are no differences. I did notice one thing that's it's kind of small in my opinion, and honestly, I almost overlooked it. But I will talk about it later. It's on the insole. But let's just go ahead and look at it. I'll try and get both of these in frame. But again, this is the 2022 version. This is the 2018 OG version. I'm gonna try and get them in frame. Again, restock on the top, the OG on the bottom. Can you tell any differences at all? In my opinion, they are pretty much the same. When I first saw the shoe, I thought my favorite part of the shoe is that kind of beige or cream leather right there above the midsole. And I thought that the OG was a little bit darker. But honestly, they look pretty much the same. I feel like when you start to look at things like this, if you look long enough, your mind will probably tell you that, oh, there are some differences there, when really they aren't any, or maybe they're just so minuscule that, it doesn't make a big deal. So let's just look really quick. Lateral side, we'll look at the different, I just want you to take a look at the prime knits on them. Again, the restock is on the top, the OG is on the bottom. I don't see anything. The prime knit looks the same to me. If you were to really, really nitpick it, there is one thing. The gray prime knit, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it on the camera, but the gray prime knit on the restock version looks a little more pronounced, if that's the right word. What I mean by that is that the prime knit looks a little bit more, has a little more texture to it. And I don't know if that's because I've worn these. Well, you could probably see it. Let me show you on the toe at least. So OG model, let me keep it the same. So this is the restock and this is the OG. look at the toe and the prime knit there. Can you see like how the OG or the restock version has a little bit more texture to the prime knit and this one doesn't? Now they're basically the same color, you know, but I did notice, I was like, wait a minute, it looks like it's a little bit more, you know, just a little more texture there. So I just wanted to call that out. And you can really see it now that I'm looking at it on the, yeah, on the back heel. So let's take a look really quick right here. I know I'm going all over the shoe, but I'm noticing as I go along too. So the restocks on the top, OG on the bottom. This piece back here, look at how smooth it is on the back of that versus the restock on the top. Can you tell? Can you see it? If not, I'll try and get you some shots of that. But it's just little things like that. As far as the colorway overall, it's pretty much the same. And I'm gonna give you a look around the restock shoe, and I'll try and, you know, if I see some difference, I'll point them out. But just take a look again at the lateral side really quick. All right. And then we'll go to the toe box and take a look. And again, like I mentioned, they're pretty much the same. I even looked at the grays and they look the same to me. You might see a little dirt on the OG, but that's about it. So there you go. That, on this one on your, I guess, right is the restock and this is the OG. All right. Now let's take a look at the medial side of the shoe. Again, you tell me if you see anything. I don't think they're different at all, but all right. Try to make sure I get it in the frame, hopefully. Okay. On that side, I would still say they're pretty much the same, except for, you know, what I called out earlier with the prime knit looking a little smoother on the back of the OG. Now, granted, that could be because I've been putting the shoe, you know, taking it on and off here and there, but I haven't worn these. Like I said, I don't think I've worn them 5 times. They're still in like pretty much new shape. Yeah, that's about it there. Yeah, okay. Now let's take a look at the outsoles of the shoe. Okay, so you guessed it, they are the same. On the top, we have the restock, and on the bottom, we have the OG. Hopefully you can see that there, trying to move it around. All right. Cool. All right, so that is about it there. I want to call out the insoles of the shoe. Now, there's a reason I was using both the left shoes, so I could show you the insole. So this one here is the restock, and I'm gonna take out the OG insole. They are pretty much, yeah, they're the same color. But what you'll notice is that the text on the insole actually reads a different way. So here's the left from the restock version, and here's the left shoe from the OG. This is restock. Yeah, restock, and this is the OG. So look at it, how the text reads on the restock. You can actually read Ortholite, Yeezy, Adidas. It reads that way. All right, and on the other one, it's kind of flipped upside down. You see? Yeah, it's upside down. So there you go. That's the main difference that I was like, oh, wait a minute, let me check the insoles, and then I noticed that. So again, restock, OG. You can read it on the restock version, and on the OG model, the text on the insole is upside down. All right. And I'm thinking the right one's the same way. I just wanted to call out the left because I had it here. But I believe that is about all, guys, for the Yeezy 700 V2 Static, the quick comparison I wanted to do. I'll try and throw some shots up if I can of the different areas that I've called out. But like I said, they're honestly the same. I'm willing to bet that if I gave you a 2020 version, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference because I think there aren't any really. Aside from the obvious one being the insole, but if someone wore them a lot and then rubbed off that text, you probably wouldn't be able to tell. I didn't look at the bottom of it, but I think the bottom are pretty much the same too. You just got that. Okay, yeah, they're pretty much the same. But yeah, that'll be about all, guys, for the Yeezy 700 V2 Static comparison with the OG and the 2022 release. Do me a favor, comment down below and let me know if you have any more questions at all, and were you able to pick up the 2022 version, or maybe you have the OG already. I'm just curious to know. Yeah, that'll be about it, guys. I believe I still, you know, keep looking at them, and I just, They look the same to me. I think sometimes, you know, collectors, we can get a little bit, you know, very picky over certain things. And I just think this is one that, like, there's no need to be picky over. It's pretty much the same shoe. I think material-wise, again, they're pretty much the same. The leather on the OG model feels a little bit softer to me, but that's probably because I've worn it just a little bit. Yeah, prime knit feels pretty much the same. Honestly, yeah, they're pretty much the same. Yep, suede textures. Yeah, the same. No complaints from me, man. I'm just glad to have my right size. And speaking of that, I suggest half size up. I know some people go true to size, but my toes cannot take the true to size fit, so that's just me. Again, thank all of you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.